Hi, my name is Jim, and I'm going to share something with you. I, it doesn't make any sense what I'm about to say. Look what's happening here. So I'm gonna get over here. Watch out, girls. Coming through, no stinging now. So if you, this is another navigational flight. I recorded one yesterday. Now, if you watch that food coming in, let's see if I can pop this open here. If you watch that food coming in, see if I can get this to stay. Now, what's happening? Oh, stay. What's happening is somebody in my neighborhood, because it doesn't make any sense. You be the judge too, right? Somebody in my neighborhood is doing what's called open feeding. Now, some of this is probably coming from pollen. Some of this pollen is probably coming from nature, but I'm seeing a pattern. I mean, these girls are so loaded that wherever they're getting it, it's abundant. And so, I don't even see this any time of the year, spring, summer, fall. They're getting an abundant amount. So you can see how they're navigating again. They did this yesterday. You can see how they're navigating again. Going way up in the sky. The sky's getting kind of filled up there. And so they're doing it again. So she must have laid a lot of eggs a while back, 3 or 4 weeks ago. And so they're doing this. This is 2 navigational flights in a row. I had to open up that port because there was just so many girls. I almost tripled the opening. And so it's, come on now. So there's so much food coming in that there is a guy that's about 4 or 5 houses down, and he open feeds the feral cats. He runs a container, a little bowl with a hose going to it, and the hose, he has it so it constantly trickles water into this little watering trough for feral cats, and or whatever other animals, I suppose. And I think he also open feeds for bees. And I'm thinking now, my suspicion is that's where I caught this swarm from his hive. That's my suspicion. And so that is just way too much food, because that's more than what they get at any peak of flowering season. So that is open feeding. Someone is doing that. There's just no way. And it's mostly persistently the same color. There's a few stray colors of orange, red, yellow, but the vast majority, probably more than 90% of that, is the same color. Yeah, open feeding. So what's going to happen, because that guy's open feeding for honeybees, all the bees that are in this area, wherever they may be, they're going to have plenty of food to have to feed their larvae to grow really fast. So my instincts are, oh, please subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell, ring my bell, ring my bell. So my instincts is that, oh, try to keep this out of the sunlight somehow, is that come probably April, because the queens are not gonna start laying drones until maybe mid-March. Just depends upon your area, right? And so once I see a drone come out, gosh, it may be early, because this kind of weather we're having this time of year. If I would have let my raspberries keep growing, they would have. I usually cut them down. Wait, I let them. I usually cut them down in October because they rot because of all the rain, and so um, yeah, I wouldn't doubt if I'd still be getting raspberries if I would just let it be. Let it be, right? Let it be, let it be. So um, by him doing that, he is making all the bees, keeping all the bees in this area, probably a mile radius, really healthy. The hive's really healthy, and I suspect it was because of him is why I was able to catch this swarm that I have here. It came from his hive. I think he has one. He's a very nature guy. I think he has chickens and all that. Wake me up at 5 in the morning. What's that? Am I am I living in nature? So, you know, and so yeah, there's just no way. There's just no way this time of year. There's no flowers. I took a walk around the neighborhood. There was only a few little ground flowers that are weeds, kind of weed flowers. There wasn't that many, and because the color is so consistently the same, predominantly, that's feeding. That is feeding. Someone is feeding the girls, and they lack it very much. Well, good for them. Get it, girls. Now the sun's starting to go down. Yeah. The sun's starting to go down, and they are out navigating 2 days in a row. So she probably laid probably 3 or 4 days in a row, and most likely she's going to stop. She's going to stop laying for probably the next 3 weeks, and she's going to build up her energy for spring, and then she's going to lay a lot, thousands a day, and then I'm going to split this hive, and then I'm going to make probably about 5 other nukes, make a bunch of queen cells, and try to go into the fall with about 6 hives. That's my goal. Start with 1, end with 6. The limit in the city is 3, but I think you can have what's called an overflow of 3, just for security kind of thing. But you can only maintain 3 year out. And I think if you have more than 10 hives, you have to register. Something like that. That is just so much food, I can't believe it. I've just never seen. There was actually a lot more food coming in earlier. Almost every girl that was coming in about 15 minutes ago had food. Almost every single one. That was just crazy. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? That's just wacky. And they are really busy. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. The 10th of January, 2026. And typically, most people in the country they don't experience this kind of thing until spring. Whoa, I fell in a hole. Until spring, right? Spring. Most of the time. Am I playing peekaboo? Peekaboo with you? And so I want to keep a little bit of distance because there's a lot of them out. And I had one that I was readjusting and redoing and recutting this landing board, and I went to push it back a while ago, and a girl got in there. She got pinched. I pinched her accidentally, and boy, she came right to my face. Like, don't you? right there, and I had to go like that because she was going to get me. She was really angry at me. I mean, she came out, went right to my face immediately. When I pulled the wood back out to let her back out, I noticed that she was in there, and I moved it just enough so she can get it out, and she flew right to my face. Boom. Yeah, she was angry. So I'm going to be doing some readjusting of this whole front structure. I just want things to fit more snug. I cut this piece of wood a while ago, earlier this afternoon, to bring it down a little bit, so it wasn't going like down in a hole like thing. So now it's more flush so that they can walk more straight in. Yeah, I'm going to be taking this piece here, and I'll be cutting it on the ends a little bit, a little edge, and then sliding that in so they have a walk. So they can have like a walking platform going in a little further, because I got it right when they go in. There's a screen. There's a bunch of little holes, and so they're walking on, trying to walk over these holes. So I'm gonna give them a little walking room when they go in, so they don't have to walk on that screen so much. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Isn't that just wacky? Yeah, he's feeding it. There's just no way around it. What do you think? Do you think it open feeding somewhere, right? Look at that. There's just no way. I think he started doing that last year. That's why my farm bees, they also came back with a lot of food. That's all winter. So I think he started that feeding last year. Because I did not notice that. The first year I had bees, I didn't notice that. There was a lot of food coming in the middle of winter. Actually, the first year I didn't get my bees to get through the winter. They died. They died in fall. So this is the second time that I've gotten bees through the winter. And so, second experience of having winter bees. And both experiences were like this. So last year with my farm bees, it was like this. All this kind of activity all winter. If it was even slightly warm enough, they were out doing this, navigation. She was laying eggs every day. It's like, there'd be like 3 or 4 or 5 days in a row. It was really stormy, rain, cold, or snow. They'd be all hunkered in. The first nice day, the sky would be full of all those girls that were waiting in the wings, you know, come out by the thousands, all at once, fill the sky, navigate, go see what they can find. That food is coming in so fast, it's as if they're having a hard time figuring out where to put it. Because they will go in, I'll watch it. I'll watch it, one go in, she'll come right back out, go back in, back out. I don't know where to put this thing. The pantry is full. But you know, they've got quite a few room because they've eaten quite a bit of the honey that I left them. So if they want to store more protein, yeah, that's all the same color. They got room. Wow. So I took all my frames because I have a lot of frames that still had some honey in it, a lot of pollen, and so what I'm doing is I'm freezing a few at a time, and then I'm leaving them out in the open to dry inside the house so they don't get mildewed. Now what I did was I took, there was one of the frames that I took it out, and it still had a little bit of honey on it. It had a lot of pollen, and it got mildewed over the last couple months. And I just took my kitchen sprayer, you know, and I sprayed all that mildew off. It came right off. and clean the comb really good without damaging the comb at all. And then I let that comb dry, and then I put it in the freezer to kill any bacteria and any other mold. And so what I'll be doing is I'll be using those frames that have because they still have a little bit of honey in them. In fact, I had it sitting right here before I cleaned it. I was hoping that they would clean it up. I had that frame sitting right here, and they were all over there emptying the cells out, trying to get whatever honey was left about 5 days ago. And then I took it in the house and I cleaned it. And so now it's in the freezer. And so what I'll be doing is I'll be taking those frames that have a little honey in it still, has a little pollen, maybe a little nectar here and there on the walls, and I'll be using that for my new beehives. So there's going to be resources right away. So when I make my new queens, I'll be able to put those queen cells in these little nuke boxes that I built, and they'll have resources immediately, and they should take right off. They should do really well. Hey, hey. Yeah, that's just crazy. Yeah, I opened up that entry by probably about 4 times wider than I like to keep it. I like to keep that entry narrow enough that mice can't get in there, and any other anything that's much bigger than a bee. So tonight, later on, I'll be closing that down to just a really narrow entry. Of course, those mice wouldn't do very well when they got in there, would they? I guess it depends on how many mice got in there. If they brought the whole family all at once, that can overwhelm the hive, I suppose. But one mouse, yeah, I don't think it would survive very, very long. But I've heard of the stories of mice getting in there and overwhelming a hive and taking it over and cleaning it out. Please subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell. Click that like button. Leave a comment. If you have any thoughts, any ideas, that's appreciated. I entertain all thoughts and ideas. But like with anybody, if that falls within the realm of what they do anyway, like I say, for example, if I was needing to go buy something that I'm going like, you know what, I can build that myself. I'll be building it myself. I wouldn't. If there's something I can build myself or construct or design or engineer in some way myself, I'm going to do that first. That's my go-to DIY. But if it's something that's really specific and there's just no way I can really construct that within reason, then I'll buy that. Right now, I'm in a position now, which is really cool. With this hive, I'm in a position now where I'm not going to have to buy anything from here on out. So if I ever need more frames, or I ever need more hive boxes, I still have all the wood that I need from other projects that I've done. I've kept that wood in a wood shed. Just go make more hives of whatever design. I'm thinking the best size hive is not a 10 framer. My instincts are, I was cutting wood, now I got sawdust in my eyes. My instincts are so far is the best size of hive to have, that's easy to manage, is a 6 framer. In fact, that's what I caught this swarm in. They had this 5 framer here, all loaded with frames and cone. They had other ones with 2 frames. They had one that was a 5 framer, and they were all investigating all of those at the same day, the same 3 days, and they chose the 6 framer out of all those other ones, including this big one here, 6 framer, right? So the fact that I gave them all these different sizes, from a 10 framer all the way down to a 2 framer, and they chose, and they were investigating all those nuke boxes, those baited nuke boxes. They were investigating all of them the same day. There was groups. One group went to this box, another group went to another one, another one, another one. And every single one of my baited nukes had a lot of bees in each one, about the same. at the same time. And out of all the different sizes of boxes, yeah, they chose the 6-framer. It's just the right size, I suppose, right? They didn't go for the 5-framer in the cherry tree. Right? They didn't go for the 3-framer. They didn't go for the 2-framer. They went for the 6. And so that told me something. So any hives that I build in the future are going to be 6-framers. I suppose eventually I'm going to make all my hives 6-frame hives. Eventually. So I'll probably cut all my 10-framers down, kind of cut them down, put a wall on it. That's pretty simple, really. You just cut one side off so that it's the width for 6 frames, and then just combine it. Pretty simple. I'd only need to add one wall, right? So just cut it to size so it's a 6-frame width. Put the other wall that's on the other side of this here. Attach that to the other side. Easy. I'd have to recut all my lids. And that's okay. And it'd be so much easier to manage too. A 6-framer. Yeah, you don't have to worry about all that rotting of the comb, because they'll be able to manage 6 frames pretty consistently. But when you get around 10 frames and they empty out all the resources, they just don't even mess with that anymore, and then you get all the mildew and the mold and all that stuff that grows in there, which can cause disease. Yeah. Pretty cool, man. Up, starting to die down. It's getting a little nippier now. Most of them are done navigating. They've actually been navigating for, so I came out here at about noon, and so they've been navigating for almost 3 hours. So they were coming out in little groups, I guess, and just kept that navigation going on. It takes like about 5 minutes for each bee to feel comfortable about, being able to make it back and doing that orientation flight. And so every 5 minutes, the new bee would be taking that one's place, and for 3 hours it was like that. About the same yesterday as well. Yesterday was a nicer day than today. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of nice to have someone in the neighborhood who does open feeding. And what that tells me, though, which is kind of cool, is I'm going to be able to most likely be able to catch, my instincts right now are telling me that I've got so many healthy bees wherever they may be in my neighborhood that when comes spring in a few months, they're gonna explode and do a lot of natural splits. So I'm gonna put my nukes out and I'm gonna see if I can catch maybe 3. If I can catch 3 hives with queens, I don't think I'll need to do any splits, because if this one here does a split, that'll give me 5. Because this one here, I don't know how old this queen is, so what I'd actually like to do is I would like to split this one and get 2 new queens and replace the queen that's in here. Just pinch her out. It's hard to know because they only live like 2 to 5 years, and so you don't want to. It's best to pinch a queen at least every 2 years, if not every year. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Good day. Excuse me, girls, coming through. Excuse me. All right, I'm gonna downsize that. Bye now.